Next one's a little bit old, so old that it's really still on paper. Y'all know y'all be seeing people with their cell phone and stuff like this one is still on paper. All right. I'm sick of baby daddies. That's right. I said it. I'm sick of baby daddies stealing all my motherfucking credit. I'm sick of baby daddies and their hit it and quit it, created then debated mentality. I'm sick of baby daddies with their hit it and quit it, created then debated mentality. When she tells you the good news, all you gotta say is, I ain't the daddy. I'm sick of baby daddies with that talk they talk so eloquently, spit it so, I'm sick of baby daddies with that talk that they talk so eloquently, how they project it, make it seem just so okay to go into you unprotected. I hate that.
You got it.
I hate baby daddies. But man, they're telling this is an old one. Like, I wrote this when I was just like, I was going to do it with somebody. And it's just like, oh, my baby daddy, them. I was like, you know what? Sick of him. All right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I hate baby daddies. With what they really are just skeet shooters. What they really are just skeet shooters. Love to go on Maury and just go say, come on, Maury. You know she worked at Hooters. I'm just going to stop. I'm sorry. Thank y'all.
Y'all give it up for Joe Schmo. All right, two things. This bucket, if you purchased anything, put your name on the back of the receipt, put it in this bin. We're giving away 3 prizes tonight. The first prize being a drawing from one of the villains. Where are the villains at? Woo, oh, oh, oh. If you want to become a LaVillain or find out what LaVillains are, please inquire. It is an artist collaborative of right now 155 different artists spanning from poetry to singers to dancers to journalists to models. We're taking back Jacksonville. We're giving this away. Panda is his name. He drew this. He's back there actually drawing right now. Panda, what you working on? Working on something smooth? You got some smooth back there? All right. This is the first prize. The second prize is a chocolate peanut butter cupcake given by 3 layers. And the very last prize is the canvas right there. Make sure you guys are painting. That's the second thing. Please make sure you guys are painting. Say it with me. Make sure you paint.
Make sure you paint.
Because y'all like to wait till the last minute when I'm doing the drawing. You're like, oh, I didn't get to paint yet. You've been sitting down for 2 hours. You had all night to paint. All right? Other than that, make sure you are giving money to Taylor. I say, get it to LA. Because that young lady, I don't know if you guys seen what she just did up here a little while ago, but that deserves to be somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That deserves to be somewhere. So I'm actually getting ready to recycle 2 poets because they asked me to go back up. So one of the first poets to be recycled, he came up, rocked off for you guys a little bit earlier. Which one of y'all want to go first? You want to go first? Yeah. So without further ado, yes, Captain Thrifton himself, my homie, phenomenal poet from Black on Black Crime. Please put your hands together for Rob.
You see it?
I'm back, guys. So, my words are my power. That is twice in one night that he got me. So, I'm slipping. Y'all can come on there and join the party. The party just started approximately now. So, a friend of mine just texted me, and I've been talking to this girl for a while, and she just put me on this word called juvenilia. So I did this poem. I wrote this poem the other day, and she was the first one to hear it. And so She just said, I saw your poem as a form of irony. She said, seeing as how juvenilia are works, often not as mature, written during youth. She said, but my poem was extremely well-versed and intellectual, so I never heard the word juvenilia before today. And so I'm dedicating this poem to her. So, how many of y'all believe being young is a good thing? How many of y'all want y'all youth back? Okay. I have my youth. I think sometimes I don't want to be young, but seeing that I have boy's charm, I have to be young forever. I get it. All right. This poem is not memorized, unfortunately, because I had to apply for jobs. So I got to get back on my ish. Responsibilities. Do what you got to do to make that bread, because that bread, it goes spoiled, and people gonna get it. It ain't gonna be yours. All right, let's get it. This is a public service announcement. Good evening. My name is Youth. I mean you no harm. I can get a little rowdy like your favorite twerk song. I make a lot of mistakes and I really don't know right from wrong. You see, I'm the part of you that you wish to reclaim or discard. I'm full of sexual propensity, I mean lust, that fills the spirits of your body, moonwalking on eternal heavens. May the wings of angels guide you. I'm a little too immature to be considered responsible. I like spending money even when I don't have enough to spend. Call me greedy, I haven't yet learned the value of $1, but when I do, you can bet your sweet ass that I spend it all on weed, bitches, and condoms, because what does a con do better than make people feel dumb? But wait, hold on. I'm young, right? I can make mistakes, right? But people learn best from experience, but what experience forgot to tell you is that all your sins will be accounted for on Judgment Day. That means every time you've had premarital sex will be used against you. Who knew pleasure had doubles, because youthful people have youthful tendencies. Go forth, my brothers and sisters, flock free, but remember that every sin has a seed that will spread and grow like flowers blossoming from vaginas. I used to consider myself a little too cool to understand the consequences of my actions. That means you will never learn your mistake. You will never learn from your mistakes. Please don't mistake me for adulthood, because I haven't reached that level of maturity. I am young. I value my imagination. I can create worlds that you have never witnessed. Have you ever seen doves with rose petals as wings? A perfect personification of Mary Jane, her stem covered with buds and leaves with the touch of poison ivy. I can cut open the sky and make it rain rubies, swords, and whores. I can do battle with Darth Vader, but I'm no Luke Skywalker. But with the puff of that Mary, I will be skywalking on purple clouds, fishing for cotton in the plantation of my mind. Don't judge me, because I don't like Judy. My youthful habits always get me yelled at, Trudy. I guess being young comes with punchlines, but abuse has never been my style. We'll be here for a while. I have a few more years left to play with. Don't allow me to grow up too fast, because in a second, you wish you had me back. Don't spoil me with responsibility, because it is my natural enemy. Don't allow anyone to take you from me, because you'll begin to take from others like stealing candy from a baby. But this baby has killers in its stomach, and it will come for you like wolves chasing the thrill of the hunt at midnight. Have you ever seen bloodthirst in the loom of the darkness? You don't know which way it's coming from, but you know it's coming. You're anxious like, oh snap, I was going in. Bloodthirst in the loom of the darkness. You don't know which way it's coming from, but you know it's coming. Have you ever seen bloodthirst in the loom of the darkness? I'm saying it again, you don't know which way it's coming from, but you know it's coming. You know it's coming. You're anxious to the point that you want to upchuck your own heart, because now it's showing on your sleeve. Now do you understand what would happen if you ever stole my youth? It is what makes me who I am. These mistakes are mine and mine alone to make. Those who grow old too fast oftentimes miss out on the most important things in life: fun, happiness, and freedom.
I'm in my life. I see the love. They know us. People know about the games that I do. Many times I'm saying your name. The foot of a curve here, rusting in my eyes. As I said to myself,
I need y'all to give it up for my DJ real quick. Give it up for my DJ. DJ Optimus going in on y'all. You hear him playing that old school. What y'all know about that thing? Who know the words? Who know the words? You know the words? We're about to find out. You don't know the words then? Who know the words? You know the words? You know the words? You know she back there singing it? You know the words? Come on. It's all right. You went before for me. You can at least sing the words. All right, y'all. Y'all ready for the next poet? Let me hear you say next poet. Yeah, some of y'all did that right. All right now. So he was up here earlier as well. When he came to me, he said, yo, I got that fire. I was like, oh, okay. Well, then I put you back on the mic. So without further ado, please put your hands together for Reggie. Reggie. I remember this name. I'm proud of myself. My words are my power. Alright, I'm not gonna sit here and talk a bit for like 3 minutes like he did, but I'm gonna get right to the point. This poem, if y'all was here last time I did a poem, then I did this poem then. This is one of the first poems I did that I wrote when I was angry. I was really angry when I wrote this poem. So I brought a lot of energy to this poem, so I just wanted to make sure y'all heard it. It's my last piece, but it's untitled. I didn't want to get too much away about it, but here it goes. You better run, nigga. You better run. Because if I catch you, I'll wring your motherfucking neck. So I run. Full stride, eyes wide through this jungle of oppression as for years enslaved us niggas. Dashing past bloodstained whips, our torture devices, the symbol of our ever-present nightmares. Each last psychologically recalibrating our minds to acquiesce to an authority distinguishable by the pigment in our flesh. Each last reminding us that they are the masters and we are simply niggas. I hear the galloping footsteps of the crusaders giving chase to my dreams. Their hands, callous free, devoid of the affliction we endure, hope to put a stranglehold on freedom and kill equality by putting these little nigga nuisances around our ebony neck, declaring us nuisances, tying lifeless bodies to trees that grow seeds, planting compliance inside the fertile minds of our offspring until we subconsciously generate an army of subservient slaves, until we realize, until we grow to accept that this is the land of the white man and we are simply niggas. That word nigga keeps me running, even though my legs falter from fatigue. I stumble over nature's breathe, but I ignore the rocky roadblocks, jeopardizing my escape. Focus straight ahead, the smell of blood, the blood of my ancestors infiltrates my nostrils, suffocating my lungs with the spirit of survival. My legs propelling me forward like gears operating a time machine to a time where we are free. My legs move me straight into the 1960s where civil rights seems to be our new fight, the fight new age slavery. You better run, nigga. You better run. I hear his voice ricocheting inside my cranium, so I run past blacks and whites that show persistence for coexistence, but it's no different than it was in years past. Each one harboring the Jesus Judas complex, waiting for the other to betray. They whisper, hey, there goes that nigga. He thinks he's one of us, but he's not. You can smell the animosity in the air like armed forces forcibly forced to converse until they clash. I hear riots, I hear violence, I see signs, black only, white only, picket signs. I see fire hoses, police dogs, fight start, bodies fall, assassination from long range, and then I stop at change. I take a break, breathe a sigh, relax. Our struggle is finally over, and then I hear, you better run, nigga. You better run. They still give chase. Our dreams deferred. The shackles of the past haven't been removed, they simply been replaced with welfare checks and food stamps that Uncle Sam dangles from the top of our hanging tree. It's threatening us just long enough for him to put those nigga nooses around our unsuspecting necks, lulled into poverty and complacency, then strangled by genocide. Our dreams dry up like raisins in the sun. Gas guns blast holes through car doors like cardboard, killing young boys whose aspirations crumble under the weight of our infinite struggle. We struggle to put down those food stamps that stamp inferiority across our chest, openly broadcasting to the world, hey, I don't want to enhance my livelihood. I'm okay with barely staying alive in hoods until I die for good, until they bury me right underneath that hanging tree where America places those nigga nooses still didn't let niggas noose niggas necks until they snap. Bones crack, fracturing the backbones. The black homes, I still hear them damn echoes. You better run, nigga. You better run. Well, I've been running for hundreds of years. Only see my brothers calling each other the same word. I've been running from niggas. Where I'm from, a nigga is 3/5 of a person. Where I'm from, niggas ain't shit. Where I'm from, the word nigga is the word they use when they beat our backs till black turn blue. As if God didn't make us all from the same dust they placed our face in. That word made us weak, but we don't discard, we embrace it. I run when I hit on the radio. I run when I hit on the streets, but what am I running for? I'm so tired. So wake me when I'm not a nigga. I don't want to run no more. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Y'all give it up for Reggie. So question, do I have any more performers out there that have not spoken to me but want to perform? Any performers out there that want to perform but they haven't spoken up? This is your call to action. Right now I'm getting ready to do one thing. I'm getting ready to shout out all the shows from Jacksonville. I get tired of hearing people say there's nothing to do in Jacksonville. Tomorrow is Commentary, hosted by Moses West. That's at Square One over at Riverside. Wednesday is Artistry West Side, hosted by Love Reigns at Blue Lounge. What is it? Blue Lounge. Starts at 8. Royal Blue. Bam. Thursday this week is Artistry downtown. It's at TSI. Yes, only $5. See, okay, y'all gotta be just as loud with the second part too. You can't just die off like that. Friday is the Cats Downstairs. I think they're at Indo Exo this week, right? Cats Downstairs. Yeah, no. That's 7th Street. All right. So we're gonna get into some poetry. This is the last poem of the night. Y'all say last poem. Aww. And then we're gonna get into the community discussion, which is my favorite part of the evening. So this poem goes out to all the young ladies in the room. It's called Pay. It's about emotional baggage. Yeah, and it speaks for itself. So without further ado, y'all say pay. Pay. I don't know this. Pay. Pay. P-A-Y. Yeah, pay. What did some of y'all say? Pain. No. So even though he was emotionally broke, and he missed you as his blessing, or he caused you much pain, instead of his affection, said he was mentally bankrupt, and to you he couldn't pay attention, I still don't think it's fair to make you pay for somebody else's indiscretions. See, he did it, and I didn't. And there are many things about us that just make us so different. So when you do weird things in the midst of this relationship for unknown reasons, I will never get it. When you think I'm gonna let you talk me out for some other dude, you can forget it. Like Snoop would do stuff that I own. She went to my car, my pants, and even my cell phone. For hours to go off on her. She would say I was dead wrong. See, I've never given you any reason to think I was cheating, so please, leave my things alone. And granted, he may have stepped out on you once or twice, and he probably wasn't treating you right, and he might have put his hands on you if he argued and he drank that night, but why should I pay the price for some other dude that was trying? See, that's the reason to turn this chance and happiness into a fight, and granted, you should fight for love, but not in that sense, because no good man wants to stick around and deal with your nonsense like you calling myself and asking me, where you at, and who you with, when I just left the house, told you I was going to the gym with some sneakers and a basketball pitch, or we have a disagreement, and you want to yell and scream. Well, I'm talking to you calmly, but you want to make a scene. See, the first step in healthy communication, it begins with listening. Plus, no man is a fan of any arguing. She's telling me all sorts of things I really don't want to hear, like, I done been through so much with him, and she doesn't know why she's here. Or my favorite, I'm just protecting my heart. So she's living her love life in fear. So a relationship between her and I, it just doesn't seem fair. So I'm kind of like, ah, lady, you gonna miss your bus, dragging all those bags like that. And I guess no one has ever told you that it's not appealing for you to emotionally go back. And yes, you've been hurt, that's a more than obvious fact, but you're carrying way too much emotional baggage in these bags and the whole back. He's getting asinine. When you approach a woman with respect and all you think you have is her back in mind, and granted, she is attractive, but I want to know about your past and your mind, and if we can possibly get together the past some time. I noticed you got a lot of luggage on your back. And we're only going on one date, so how many bags did you pack? And could you put some of that down so we can relax? Because it's really hard to talk to you with you leaned over and slumped over like that. And I think you can hear me better if you turn down your defense. And those emotional wounds will heal better back those scabs you get to pick. And though we're all men, you should be able to see our differences, but when you stereotype all men in one group, well, that's as wrong as you can get. Now, I know through time that you will grow weary of me. And I'm not telling you that you should not be leery of them, but once the relationship is over, then let that be the end, and don't carry the anger of one to where this one can begin, because a fair chance is a fair chance. See, whether we're playing chess cards or the game of romance, if we're playing the game of life, and not the pay for his past, how long do you think this game here is going to last? Ladies, just take time to grieve. Because a big part of the issue is your grievance period is too brief, and just like the aftermath of a foot race, you find it hard to breathe and intentional while calm yourself and finally feel relief. Apply that here. Relax for a second. Just chill out and do you. And if a real man meets you during this period, he'll be patient to allow you time for what you've been through. And if he doesn't, that means his interest wasn't in you, but more so in those physical things that you two could do. Now, it's not all about men, ladies. I have to say that you can't punish yourself for the rest of your days, and though we may have done you wrong and left you in the days, you owe it to yourself to never make yourself hurt. Because you fall into the trap of self-pity or low self-esteem, but the reality is, baby girl, you always were and are a queen, so why are you chasing peasants when you deserve a king? See, for one day, you'll be the right man's heavenly beings. See, so trust me, because I've never given you doubt. Just talk to me. Because communication is what a healthy relationship is about. Look at me as if I'm the only man that can make you smile when you feel like you need to pout. Because I know you've been trapped in pain for a while, baby girl. But I'm here to help you out. So even though he was emotionally broke, and he missed you as his blessing, or he afforded you much pain, instead of needed affection, said he was mentally bankrupted to you, he couldn't pay attention, and I still don't think it's fair to make all of us pay for somebody else's indiscretions. Thank you.
Tired. That poem pulls a lot out of me. That poem and God Doesn't Play Card Games, those two poems pull everything in my life out. So this is my favorite part of the evening. We call it community discussion, and what's so great about it is I now have what we do is I have ant.com, AHYNTE.com. There's a section that's called Ask a Poet. I tell people to send me questions, and I bring them here, and we talk about them. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys, and what I do is I first open it up to y'all. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about? Like last week we talked about, and what did we talk about last week? What was it? Huh? It was about relationship. No. Oh, how long do you date a person until you decide that you want to be with them for the rest of your life? That's what we talked about last week. This week, what are we going to talk about? Somebody throw something out. You raise your hand. What you got?
I want to talk about Kanye West's upcoming album.
Kanye West. Yeah, we'll skip on promotion. We'll skip on promotion. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about? I don't want to talk about that. I'd rather talk about something that's going to change your life. Not so much. Anybody else want to talk about anything? We talk about everything in here, from forgiveness to anything you possibly think of. I can always come up with a question, but it's my question, so it's kind of stupid to ask a question and answer it. But if you guys want me to, I can put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said something smart. What you got? Y'all talking a lot. Y'all got questions. Somebody got a question over there. No. Let's see. Oh, I got a question for you guys. Why is it in the minority community? I hate that word. I hate it. Whatever. Why is it in the minority community do we avoid talking about mental handicaps? Things that have to do with mental handicaps, as far as like, say a person has schizophrenia, or say a person is is bipolar, things of that nature. Have you ever noticed that we don't talk about them in the black communities or in the minority communities? We just kind of avoid it and we make fun of it instead of actually, talking about the issues. Is there a reason behind that? Anybody want to talk about that? Or you can come up with your own question. I need you guys to come up with a question.
To answer your question or to attempt to answer it, I think it's because we're closed-minded in the fact that we don't want to look at the flaws of our society. We would rather it's okay not to look at the flaws, but then again, you still have to acknowledge the flaws and know that they're there. Because if you just go over and glaze over it, it's ignorance, being oblivious. But in the minority community, in our community, unfortunately, we glaze over these issues because we don't want to look at the blight on our society. You know what I'm saying? On this our society, we want to look at just the meaning positive. But
all right. To comment on what he said. I don't consider something like schizophrenia or dementia or anything like that like a flaw. It's something that you're either born with or something that happens to you naturally, and that's something that you can control. And maybe the reason why minorities kind of glance over that is because we kind of look at our own supposed inferiority. It's something that we're born with, it's something that we can't really change. Just like schizophrenia or any other kind of bipolar disorder, it's something that you can't deal with. It's something that you have to learn to deal with. It's something that you can't control, and that's kind of why we kind of don't sign up to talk about it, because we see our own inferiorities and we kind of see it in also other disorders that people can't control. So just like we can't control what skin we're born when we get into this world, we control what our gender is, our sex is. We can't control if we're bipolar, if we're schizophrenic. So we choose to glaze over and we choose not to acknowledge it. And so that's why minorities probably choose to not mention those disorders.
As a nurse in this community who's worked at Shands in the psychiatric facility and being the charge nurse at the jail, which is the largest psychiatric facility in Duval County. One of the reasons, first of all, I take offense when you say handicap, because that implies limitations. We're talking about mental illness. And that's the core of it, is that it is an illness that the black community does not acknowledge. I think it goes back to the fact that I hate to say this, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we're religious. We've been taught to overcome, that we shouldn't have depression, that we shouldn't have to take medication for that somehow we could heal ourselves, when in fact we do need medication. Plus the money has been stopped in this community. We don't acknowledge mental health as necessary or as primary as physical. And, that's important. Mental health assessment and mental health intervention is the #1 priority we should have in this community. Just look at the fact of all this violence and people killing each other. I mean, it points out crack cocaine, you just name it. So I just think that's important.
Okay, I'm already on my feet. I can help out. There you go. Oh wait, real quick. That's ignorance on my part. I don't exactly know what to call it. I don't know the politically correct. I just know, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Handy able. Yeah, see, and I've never been briefed on it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? All right.
She pretty much took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say, because how many minorities are raised in church? Okay, and what's the first thing the pastor say? Someone is acting one way, and the next thing you know, they going off on somebody, bipolar. Then they're like, oh, that's the devil, cast the demon out of them. And that's just the way we brought up. So then when they go to saying, well, take these pills, take these drugs, we're like, where'd that come from? You know, we taught by our pastor that this the way, you know, it's supposed to be. So that's pretty much why I think a lot of minorities are like that, because a lot of churches, the outside of minority churches, like Caucasian churches or whatever, you never see nobody getting laid hands on and spread out on the floor and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Trying to cast out those demons is what they call it. So, yeah, that's why.
All right. Yes. Uh-huh.
I don't think that it's so much as church. I feel like some churches are like that, but you can't say that all churches are like that, because my church is not like that. Now, my church does believe in laying hands, but if you have a mental, she said illness. If you have mental illness, then that's what that is, and you need to go and get the right information about it. And as far as taking pills, I don't like to take pills, but I'm the type of person is I'm gonna ask the right questions to know what it is about. Why am I taking these pills? What are they gonna do? What are the side effects? It's about asking questions. So I think that goes more so back to just being brought up in a way, I won't say ignorance, but it's just we don't like to it's out of our comfort zone. We like our comfort, we like to do the same things, and taking pills and trying to fix stuff is just something that we don't like to do. Not speaking in absolutes, but that's just how some of us are. But I don't think that's a religious or a church thing as far as that matter. It does depend on the church. You were right.
I think you both have really good points, but I think it also ties into education, because if we're coming up with churches where they don't believe in like the scientific way, then they're not going to look it up and try to figure out why those pills are okay to take. So that all of that ties into not even them not educating themselves to even find out the real truth about what's really wrong with the person. So.
I think also in the minority community, we have become functionally dysfunctional. Like, we've seen our family members, everybody had that crazy cousin, crazy uncle, but for some reason, we know that something's wrong, but we kind of still acknowledge them to be normal. We try to make sure we incubate like a normal environment for them. So I think for the most part, we've learned how to deal with these illnesses and still get life accomplished, if you will. I mean, if you call it that. I mean, obviously it's not really getting accomplished because there's something wrong there that's not being acknowledged, but I think for the most part we're just used to adapting. We're used to dealing with shortcomings, things that are not exactly the way we want them to be. And so with that, we probably don't, I mean, even if they told us we were crazy, we're probably like, no, I'm not crazy, I just got some things that I do differently. But that's pretty much it. So
yeah. My response to this, you want to speak? Okay, I'll let you speak first. Go ahead, Pam. Yes, sir.
I think it's a lack of understanding. To y'all's point about religion, I've witnessed a spiritual issue where they say it's a devil or a demon or something. You're gonna know the difference if it's just a mind thing or if it's actually the devil or something. People don't really understand what it means for someone to have a devil or a demon on them. It's not what we see on Dr. Phil, where people talk about schizophrenia and kids coming up with these issues and whatnot. People just don't know the difference. It's things that you need medication for, but it's things that you need prayer for. And people don't understand the difference between the two. And the reason why most of the time people naturally don't respond to it in the minority community is because we have this innate selfishness where we think everybody's supposed to be like you. Everybody's supposed to be normal like you, and that's not the case. But with the religion and the mental health issue, the difference between the two, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna witness someone, have a devil on them or a demon on them. So you're not gonna know anything about that. So therefore, you have people in churches that'll just write everything off as a devil or a demon when they really shouldn't. But there is a difference. I know. So.
Anybody else? Anybody else want to Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Huh? You want Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Okay. Hello. Wait. Anybody else after him? Yeah, no. I want to make sure I acknowledge her as well.
All right. This is regarding religion again. This is a correlation I found. Like, it's not causation. I don't have anything, like, nothing proven about it or whatever. But, like, if regarding, like, religion and black churches, like, casting out the devil or laying their hands and the halamu shambla, whatever they say when they try to heal people and whatnot. I know it's a difference between that and politics. It's kind of like how blacks are normally Democrats, and Democrats are more open-minded, they're more radicalized, and that's kind of what I see in other black churches, and how whites are normally Republicans, and that's more conservative. That's why I kind of see in white churches too. They're more conservative, they're more mundane. Their tactics aren't as wild and as radicalized as the other black churches. And that's kind of one correlation I see in politics and also in churches. And I'm not sure if it's a proven thing, but it's a correlation I happen to notice. So.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to definitely acknowledge that I wasn't saying, I didn't mean to say all churches or anything like that. Because I grew up in church, and actually his dad is a pastor, and he's my godfather. So I put you out there. So living with them and seeing it was constant. Okay, whatever sickness you have, whatever situation you have, God was, the healer. So is the healer. So when someone had a bipolar disorder or medicine was like, ooh, he would preach against that, and he would say, just go to God for it. You don't need medicine. You don't need this. And then they'll usually celebrate whenever you say, okay, I didn't stop taking my medicine and now I'm doing good without the medicine. You know what I mean? So now I think a lot of minorities have experienced that. Maybe not some of the younger, but I'm actually going to be 36 in a couple of days. So I'm going back to, thank you. So I'm going back to when I was younger and the type of stuff that I saw and I'm seeing now. I wanted to mention, not to take up all the time, but my sister actually had a disorder like that, because I was the type who also believed that, just go to God, you don't need medicine, da-da-da. But then my sister experienced a what is it called? Schizophrenic episode. And like what he was saying as far as tell the difference in demon and non-demon, I promise you, when we were in Charlotte, she scared the living daylights out of us. She started reading and wouldn't eat, and long story short, by the end of this weekend, she was on the second floor of a three-story house. She dived out the window onto the concrete below after she looked at me and was saying, what did she call me? She called me a gift of God, because my name's Dorothy. So she's like, Dorothy means gift from God. She looked at me and she was like a totally different person. And we did not know what was going on. We thought it was a demon possessing her. And her eyes just had a different look. She was looking at everybody different. And then I read up on it, and all the different things she was going through were all the symptoms of schizophrenia. So after she dived out the window, I looked over, and she was laying on her back, and she sat back up, and she said, I got all power in my hand, I've been healed, all my bones came back together again. And she jumped up and came running back up the stairs like nothing ever happened. And I know for a fact she should have been hurt. And even after that, the police and everybody had to take her out, and she did not get back to normal till they got her to the hospital, and she got the IV in her, and they started pumping her full of the medication to balance out her mental whatever was going on. So yes, we did read the Bible and pray to her as well, but I just want to say that she has to take medicine to keep her balance. So yeah. Right. See, we don't know anything about that.
Yes. Remember, there's people at home.
You can pray, and I'm all for spirituality. I'm all for Christianity. But the fact of the matter is, if you've got a bipolar disorder, that means your lithium levels are either low or high. And the only way to correct that is with medication. So it's not about you need to pray and all that. It's just about getting the right kinds of medications. Like with your sister, that's where the mind splits. It's called affective schizophrenia, and they will put on some Tegretol or something like that. So that's just common in the black community. Yeah.
My answer, because the original question was why don't we talk about it in the black community? The reality, or black, I apologize, minority, we don't talk about anything really. If you've noticed, we are we're all brooms. We brush everything under the carpet. We have this behavior where we're all invincible and all perfect, and we always have to feel as though we need to portray that in ourselves. If you've ever watched your timeline, everybody on your timeline in some way, shape, or form, all your friends, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, they're perfect. They spend so much time judging others and saying, you know, how perfect their life are and how happy they are, but never acknowledging the troubles and trials they go through. We feel as though acknowledging our trials and tribulations is a sign of weakness. We also pawn it off as if somebody comes to you and they tell you they're dealing with something, we think they're complaining. You know what I mean? The first thing you do, man, I don't want to hear that. They're complaining. She came over here complaining. No. If a person comes to you and they're acknowledging something that's genuinely wrong with themselves, they're not weak. That's a sign of strength. Think about the last time you were able to just really lay all your problems out on the table. It takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I think in our community, we've gotten so strong within ourselves, we don't know how to be fragile. You know what I mean? So when there is a mental handicap, we want to dumb it down. Oh man, it ain't that serious. It ain't nothing big. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. You know, I'll be all right next week. It's just the same thing with sickness. When we get sick, we don't go see the doctor. One, because we don't want the bill. Two, because we don't want to acknowledge the fact that we're sick. You know what I mean? You know how many of minorities pass away by preventable sicknesses and diseases? Things that if they would have went to the doctor, it'd have been perfectly fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so if we spent more time being comfortable with acknowledging our issues, acknowledging what we're going through, acknowledging and stop looking at people as if that's a frailty. And when a person says, you know what, I've been having these thoughts. You know, I've had friends come to me, and I'm that friend that everybody comes to. And they be like, you know, I've been having some real depressed thoughts and thinking I'm just going to commit suicide and things. I go with them to counseling. You know what I mean? Most of the time, you're like, oh, they complaining, they tripping, this and that. No, that's them reaching out to you. That's them crying out for help. And we have to get to a point to where we are accepting and realizing that people go through stuff. People go through stuff. We're not perfect, yo. We are not perfect. We go through things. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody comes to you and they say, hey, you know, I've been having an issue, this is that. Listen. And then try to find somewhere for them to go. But stop brushing stuff under the carpet. Stop telling them, you know what, it'll be okay. It's going to be all right, dog. You know what I mean? Next week, everything will be all right. You know what I'm saying? And then next week, guess what? They gone. You know what I mean? They gone. And then what? You left with what? Regret. So that's just how I feel about it. Anybody else, real quick? I'm about to do the drawing for the prizes. Has everybody put their receipt in the bin? Has everybody put their receipt in the bin? Everybody? That's a yes or no question. If you've done it, say yes. If you've not done it, say no. All right, boom. So let's find out, DJ. Hold on. I think I'm gonna pull 2 names out the bucket. Okay, 2 names out the bucket. Instead of pulling out 1 name like I normally pull. The first, I think we're gonna give away the 3 Layers Cafe treat and the canvas first. Or y'all wanna give away the picture first? Which one? All those in favor of the canvas, raise your hand. All those in favor of the picture, raise your hand. Okay, so it looks like the canvas. We'll be giving away the canvas first, and then we'll be giving away this second. This is so dope, yo. You know, that's the thing about being the host. I don't get to win nothing, you bastards. It's all right. It's all right. All right, y'all. So I'm reaching here, pull a name out. That's not a name. That's not a name. At least I know what I'm looking for in life. Rob, you win the canvas. Yes, sir. It is Rob. Yes, sir. Rob is the winner of the canvas. All right, let's find out who won the picture. I didn't pull the name out. Go back in there. Huh? No. I pay for all of that out of my own pocket. No. All right. Ready? Reach in. And the winner of the picture is Savannah. Where's Savannah at? Yes, Savannah is the winner. Y'all give it up for Savannah. Yes. Is it autographed? Have you already autographed this, Panda? You already autographed it? Where is that? I don't see it. You must have put it in there smooth. Oh, I see it. I seen it. There you go. And you are the winner. Yes. She won. Why am I not supposed to give it to her? She won fair and square. All right, y'all. Other than that, I love you guys. Thank you for coming out. We're here every Monday. I need you guys to add me on Facebook because next Monday is Memorial Day, right? And I'm thinking about throwing a special show. They may actually open this up for me for a special show. So you just get the canvas. What are you? He's trying to take everything. Just give me stuff back. Just niggas always trying to take stuff, everything. Just you get the canvas. Yeah. Vico, yeah, you get the cake as well. Yeah. Yeah, you get the cupcake in the right down there. Boom. Go get your cupcake. They was trying to get you, dog. All right, y'all. Other than that, you can still put money in her. We're trying to give her to LA. You can still put money in the tip jar if you want to. You can tip me too. Myself, I want y'all to give it up for DJ Optimus. I appreciate him coming out. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Be blessed. But get out. Hey, thank you for coming out. Appreciate it all day. Boom. Appreciate you coming out. Thank you. Appreciate you coming out and sharing, man. Always.
African queen, black girl, you are the best I've ever seen. That's all I know. See me a feet, I'm a star, that's all. Rise up in there, that's all I know. See me a feet, yo, I just the joy, I just the memories. So that's why this one the friendship. If you look at us, this thing she can't make it. She want it hard and she find extended. When you know the thing spread out, we talented. You do your thing, you want your fight, make it splendid. Hey yo, I be she recommended. This the one I'm recommended. This the one I'm recommended. That's all I know. See me your feet, I'm a star, yo. Rise up in it, yo. That's a good rise up in it. Oh, sitting in the bar, me say you don't them love it. This like I love this, I'm me don't have a study. Can you say the pattern and sexy and body? Hey you girl, come sit down.
Everybody want to come for that kind of stuff, trying to get out of that.
Life is worth much more than gold. Jamming is the name of the Lord.
Gotta get back in there though.
Straight on your
Get back into it. You know what it was doing for you at the time. You can remember that, then you know it wasn't no bad thing.
Good night, everybody.